Right. It's time to do Jeremy. So we haven't done Jeremy in a Chud watch or so. I don't think he's been coping well with Biden winning the election. He looks incredibly jaundiced. He looks like he hasn't had a good night's sleep in weeks. He basically looks very, very distraught, and it looks like he's been on a bender. So let's see Jeremy try and cope by going back to his bread and butter, and of course his bread and butter being a Brie Larson video. So let's see him try and stumble his way through a Brie Larson vid while probably hungover. Tucker White 94 with 20 bits. By the way, there was a tweet that compared vaccinations to Nazi Germany. I think it was from Candace Owens. Yeah, they're stupid.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I saw this article, as I have my Google alerts for Brie Larson, highest priority here in The Quartering studio. I'd started out as a really strong dislike of Brie Larson based on my only interaction with her.
You've never had any interaction with her, Jeremy. Vulpus, Red Tail, well, 25 bits. I used to watch Jeremy until he became a chud because I liked magic, but man, he does not look so good. I know, I want to feel bad for him. That's how I'd put it. I don't feel bad for him. I want to feel bad for him. But he just makes a jackass out of himself constantly and continues to push on his, Midwestly channel conspiracy theories about the election, so I don't really feel bad.
Being her comments about a 40-year-old white dude and many other comments that she made.
Jeremy got upset because Brie Larson once said that white dudes' opinions in their 40s aren't always the most important opinion to have on a specific thing made for little girls. And that made Jeremy very sad, and he's not gotten over it since then.
Previously, but now, if you've been following the channel, you know that I've actually become a massive fan.
This is true. Jeremy's as big of a Brie Larson fan as I am a Jeremy fan. We're both big fans.
Huge fan of Brie Larson. Probably the biggest fan online. In fact, there are many prominent, for them, far lefty YouTubers who are obsessed with the sheer amount of videos I've made on.
I know I am Jeremy! Is Jeremy watching my videos? Is Jeremy watching my videos about him talking about Brie Larson? Hi, Jeremy. Drink some water, please, and maybe take some vitamins, because you're not looking too good. You look like Casper the Ghost grew facial hair. Please, Jeremy. Eat some food, okay? Go upstairs. Do something other than drinking in your basement, okay? You do not look healthy.
On Brie Larson. They don't have any problem with, various other news outlets having thousands of articles about her. But for whatever reason, a YouTuber covering important news, trending news, it's not okay.
When did I ever say it wasn't okay, Jeremy? Please continue covering Brie Larson, and I'll continue covering you covering Brie Larson. Haven't you seen Star Wars? There's always a bigger fish. Someone's probably going to start covering me, covering you, covering Brie Larson. It's fine. This is the internet, Jeremy. We're all doing well. But Jeremy, and you have a responsibility here, as someone in the food chain, you need to be healthier, Jeremy. Drink some water, eat a vegetable or two, okay? Because, people like me, the bottom feeders, what are we gonna do? If you OD, if you get alcohol poisoning while your wife's out for pizza and there's no one there to help you in your basement, you're gonna die in your own puddle of pee, and no one wants that, Jeremy. Please, be a little healthier for all of our sake, okay?
I find that really, really disturbing as one of the leading fans in the Brie Larson army. And I saw an article come out this week along with some new theories about Captain Marvel that I thought would be an interesting
Mitchell Drummer, thanks for the 320 bits, says brony time.
Topic. Now, first and foremost, the article talks about Brie Larson thinking she's ugly. And it kind of reminded me, at first blush anyway, of the type. Guys do this too, where they're like, oh, just so ugly. But they're like a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? It's like fishing for compliments. And it actually got to a point where it was a little more serious. So we're going to poke our fun, but then I'm going to talk about it because I have a twin sister and, I saw her go through a lot of this stuff. First and foremost, a new theory says Captain Marvel may actually be the MCU's first mutant.
I doubt they're going to go that route.
Leaps of logic and faith are required when it comes to any major comic book franchise. But the MCU will still need to come up with a reasonable explanation as to why the X-Men have appeared on the scene when the eventual reboot all rolls around. After all, there's been no mention of the word mutant for the last dozen years, and it's an awful lot of exposition to establish them in mythology that's existed so long with its own set of rules and narratives. Look,
I don't get, and this is completely, since it's being mentioned, I just want to talk about it. I don't see why everyone's making such a big deal, relatively speaking, not a real big deal compared to other things going on in the world. But when we're talking about the MCU movies and like how are they going to implement the X-Men, they haven't mentioned them even once. It's like, guys, it's fine. All you have to do is say mutants have operated in secret. One line, you're done. It's fine.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Antipodian Squid with 80 bits. Jeremy, if you do happen to watch the streams here, drink some water. 1 to 2 liters per day is great for organ integrity and overall hydration. And you're looking a tad yellow. If you get a bit jaundiced, some time in the sun is good for that. UV helps, but remember not to spend too long in the sun. Sun safety is important. Your health is important, even if your hot takes are bad. Yes, Jeremy, go get some vitamin D. Wear some sunblock. And, bask a little bit. Bask in the sun, okay? And then come back, and we can continue the video.
first of all, I would be shocked, I tell you, shocked that if they still call them mutants. Let's just put it
Why? They're gonna call them mutants. They're mutants, Jeremy.
that way. We just covered a story about Assassin's Creed Valhalla being ableist for using a word deformity to describe somebody's face. So there's no way. Obviously, though, Captain Marvel got her
They're gonna call them mutants. They'll be called mutants, guys.
abilities by being exposed to a massive amount of energy, similar to which powers the Tesseract, meaning that it might have not given them to him, but rather given them to her, but rather unlocked them. With the movie largely being set in 1995, Hydra could have realistically picked up a sample of her DNA and used it further their experiments. Ooh, it's spicy. I'd prefer, I've got to tell you, I would prefer that the X-Men stand alone. I would be very frustrated if Disney just immediately crammed them into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I mean, they're gonna do probably X-Men. Well, okay, actually, the rumors are right now, not that this is particularly, relevant to our discussions of Jeremy, but if we're talking about the MCU, the current rumors were that Storm was going to show up. Storm from the X-Men might have shown up in Black Panther 2. If you don't know the backstory of Storm, Storm was worshipped as a goddess, like a storm goddess in some, nation in Africa, and then she was going to show up in Black Panther 2. Who knows what's going to happen with Black Panther 2, because, Chadwick Boseman unfortunately passed away. But that was the original rumor, and they were talking about maybe introducing some mutants and some other stuff before they introduced them in an X-Men movie, which would be fine. That's pretty standard for MCU stuff at this point, is introducing characters and other things. I think that's okay. Tatsuyo Dragneel with 20 bits. Mutants have been hinted to exist in the MCU. They just haven't been able to use exact words because of copyright. Tie-in things pre-buying Fox even imply Wanda was already a mutant. There doesn't need to be a big event to suddenly make mutants exist. Yeah, I would much prefer them just say it's kind of been a thing on the DL. Maybe S.H.I.E.L.D. is aware of it, but they've kind of kept it, secretive for one reason or another. They don't want people panicking that there's, a ton of people out there with powers that they don't know about. It doesn't really matter anyway. It's a fictional movie. They can do whatever. I'm sure they'll come up with something workable. It doesn't even need to be great. Devious Chilster with 20 bits. They're mutants, the X-Men. Just make an MCU exclusive one or find one from way back in the comics with the ability to manipulate memory. Bam, easy explanation. Oh yeah, just operated in secret. Sure. TubeMan642, why would Marvel waste their time making Captain Marvel a mutant when Scarlet Witch, the daughter of Magneto, was in the franchise already? Agree.
The X-Men don't need to exist in the same universe as Marvel.
I would like them to. I enjoy some of the Fox X-Men movies. Some of them haven't aged as well. I don't think the original ones age as well. X2's still good. X3's got all sorts of problems. But, like, First Class is good. Days of Future Past is good. There's some good ones in there.
That's right,
but
capitalistic
we've
propaganda.
had that already, right? I like the Deadpool movies, but I'd like to see them in the MCU, because that's how they've existed in the comics. Even though, of course, in the comics, the X-Men are very much their own thing, and a lot of their problems will operate almost as if they're, you know, the only superpowered beings in the world. But that doesn't mean they don't cross over with other Marvel stuff. For instance, one of the more recent comics I've read is Miss Marvel, because she's getting introduced to the MCU, and I wanted to check out some Miss Marvel stuff. And Wolverine shows up in Miss Marvel relatively early on, just as someone who she runs into, and that kind of stuff happens. I mean, they're in the Marvel universe, guys. Even though the
There's nothing
X-Men all
funny
hang
about
out,
the tools of
they do
capitalism.
interact with the other heroes, and I think it's cool to see them do so. I don't know. Vulpus Redtail 25 bits. Hannah, you should do Marvel or comic book lore streams. I enjoy listening to you talk about it. I definitely don't know enough to be someone who does that.
They just don't have to. I understand the
nothing funny about the
inclination
tools of
to immediately do crossovers, but it's not like people don't know who the X-Men are. It's not like people don't know Wolverine or Cyclops or Jean Grey. It's not like people don't know these characters.
There's nothing funny about
Phosphophyllite
the
with 20
tools of
bits. People keep
capitalism.
talking about the X-Men, but I'm more excited for a good Fantastic Four movie. Towing 24, long shot idea. The end of WandaVision as Scarlet Witch bring them all in with the reality warping powers. Oh, sort of like a reverse House of M. Possible.
Professor Xavier. You don't need to cross them over. But, and also in Drop the
There's nothing
Taco
funny about
news,
the tools of capitalism.
Nissan has extended their partnership with actress Brie Larson. Larson first appeared in the
I'm imagining Jeremy just every day going on Google and being like, Google. Brie Larson. News. And just looking at every new Brie Larson article, angrily looking for something to comment on. Like, Jeremy, listen. I know the fact that Brie Larson gets covered relatively often annoys you. And at the beginning of this even, you're like, well, why don't you care that they make a bunch of, like, other people make a bunch of things about Brie Larson? Here's why, Jeremy. Because she's a celebrity, right? She's, like, a popular celebrity. She's, like, a front runner in, like, the biggest franchise in the world right now as Captain Marvel in the Marvel movies. She's also done other stuff, like the movie Room. She's an Oscar-winning actress. Like, people like her. I know you don't like her, and the people you hang around with don't like her, specifically because that's your entire brand.
There's nothing funny about
But, like,
the
most
tools of
people just think she's
capitalism.
okay. But like any celebrity, she's gonna have a bunch of nonsense pap articles written about her, right? That's how celebrity culture works. There's entire industries that revolve around these things. Like TMZ, trash like that. And me... All you're doing, Jeremy, by covering them is fueling that fire. You're not bringing up anything doesn't already know. Ooh, look, they're covering a celebrity in every vapid thing the celebrity does. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, Jeremy. It's one thing to make a bunch of generic articles when you kind of like someone, because it's an interest, right? But, like, turning someone you dislike or something you dislike into a whole thing, that's something I understand. It's what we're doing here. But it's like, it's always sad. Jeremy, at least I know I'm sad, okay? Come over to the side with me and recognize how sad this all is. And maybe drink a glass of water, and we'll all be okay. Alright? It'll be good.
Nissan Sentra ad that broke in March. The 360-degree Rogue Gone Rogue campaign for the Nissan's best-selling U.S. model in the industry, largest segment's debut today, November 9th. Now, I wouldn't, if I wouldn't really be messing with Rogue if I were Captain Marvel, but that's neither here nor there. Then I started seeing all sorts of these other.
It's actually a good joke. Rogue, if you don't know in the comics, at one point took Captain Marvel's abilities, which gave Rogue like flight and super strength for a while. So
articles coming up. Marvel, Brie Larson opens up about struggling with
all his tabs are just Brie Larson. One of his tabs, in fairness, I'm sure he did this as a joke. Or maybe he'll talk about it. I don't know. One of his tabs is 49 hot pictures of Brie Larson. I don't know if you can read that, but I swear to God, that's what that says. 49 hot pictures of Brie Larson.
Feeling ugly. Ugly. What? Brie Larson on facing and overcoming society's harsh standards of beauty. November 9th. I mean, Brie Larson is clearly a 10.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
Tiger White 94 20 bits. This is to be read like a vapid gossip columnist. This week on TMZ, sex scandal in music. Sex abacus member Hannah caught mugging a prostitute. That doesn't seem like my MO, but all right.
So to me...
Oh, did I turn the light on this on? I didn't mean to do that. Can we see his posts on Parler? No way I'm opening Parler on stream. That would be... I'm sure I'd get some TOS stuff immediately.
This is truly bizarre. Captain Marvel's Brie Larson recently opened up beauty standards and revealed that she struggled with notions of beauty and had to battle upsetting thoughts on the way she looked and felt.
So here's what Jeremy's going to do here. Jeremy's going to be like, but Brie Larson's so hot, even though Jeremy and his fans, if you've never been on his Reddit, have made fun of the way she looks before. Like, that's been part of their attack on her in their memes and shit. Is like, haha, she's got no booty. I don't like me, no Brie Larson. So even though they've expressly participated in shitting on this woman's looks, even though I think Brie Larson's an attractive woman, she's like a AAA actress. She has, the best makeup people, the best hair people on the planet doing her stuff regularly. And on top of that, she's just, she's in shape. She's pretty. Sure. But Jeremy, that doesn't mean that she doesn't also face the same societal pressures and anxieties that a ton of people face in regard to their looks, especially women, right? Like, this is something that you've participated in by insulting her looks in the past. You've weaponized those cultural anxieties and standards for women against her, and now you're mad that she's admitting that she recognizes those things and it hurts her. So you use something to try and hurt someone, and then when they dare to say, oh, by the way, this thing that hurts people hurts me, then you go, ha ha ha, how dare you be hurt by the thing that I have participated in, you bitch? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It makes absolutely no sense.
In recent interview with W Magazine. Now, these are just some pictures of Brie Larson.
That's Jake's MO, but he'd probably rob prostitutes for corn. Are there a bunch of prostitutes with corn going on? Oh, he'd like rob them and buy corn. Okay.
I'm not sure where the ugly phase was. Quite honestly, it's really odd that, I'm just curious.
Jeremy, these are all pictures that are being taken of her at like events, which are either professional photography done by a photographer who's meant to make her, look as good as possible, or it's her in designer clothes after her makeup and hair has been professionally done for like award shows. Do you think she walks around like this all the time? Tucker White 94, speaking of beauty standards, Hannah, you're not wearing makeup. How will you ever get a man to put a baby in you? Honestly, I'd be very impressed if they could figure out how to do that. Tumek Von Raven with 50 bits. Brie Larson needs a restraining order from Jeremy just in case. He's too lazy to get up and do anything. I wouldn't worry about it. The point is, Jeremy, regardless, like, Jeremy, just because someone is attractive does not mean they are immune to self-doubt or image issues. And to imply otherwise is really stupid. It's just dumb. Everyone knows that everyone at one point or another is going to face image issues. Like, some people more than others, some people less than others. And some of it's going to be in regard to, like, material aspects of how you look, and some of it isn't, because we just have certain societal standards that when we try and apply those things to ourselves, cast us in a negative light, right?
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
That doesn't mean people who are, like, conventionally attractive aren't allowed to have feelings of inadequacy ever. That's stupid. And trying to shut down, like, people's own self-doubt in the way that you're doing is not constructive. It's one thing to say to someone you actually know in real life if they're having, like, self-doubt about their looks, like, hey, you know, you shouldn't worry about that so much. You look wonderful, and hey, even if you didn't, like, you shouldn't let other people get you down on how you look. But that's not what Jeremy's doing. He's just, like, making fun of her because he doesn't see where her anxieties about her looks have ever come from. Jeremy, you and I don't know Brie Larson's fucking life. Like, she grew up like the rest of us. She grew up and went to high school and middle school where people are probably mean, because middle schoolers are the meanest people on the planet. Like, everyone has anxieties about the way they look, and that's fine.
At what point? What? I mean, what?
Antiboating and Squid. Hannah, you've read fan fiction. Pregnancy is possible no matter what your base biology. I haven't read that kind of fan fiction.
In a recent interview with W Magazine, the actress shared that she felt like an outcast for the longest time of her life. She also stated her reliability with body shaming and similar beauty standard that is faced by women.
Let's go to the quartering subreddit. Let's see if we can find some Brie Larson body shaming. Okay? Let's just search Brie Larson. Or even the opposite, ogling. This just says tits plus muzzle equals tolerable Brie Larson, and then it's a picture of Brie Larson with a mask on. Yikes. Brie Larson fans, and then I think it's a picture of the woman from The Last of Us 2. What the heck does that mean? That's an epic gamer moment, folks. Tiger White 94, Silly Hannah, everyone knows celebrities aren't real people. They're shit out of a machine that was once run by Harvey Weinstein and exploited by Disney until they reach adulthood in 6 weeks.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Tumek Von Raven with 150 bits. To make things interesting, what was the nicest, not sarcastic thing you can say about Jeremy? His layout is nice. Like, if he wasn't complete shit, it'd be a fine channel layout for his videos. Like, okay, here's one, for instance. This is a post from 2 months ago on the quartering subreddit. Brie Larson is Samus Aran. She needs to get with a personal trainer and tone up. Like, Jeremy, there are people on your subreddit who literally, like, comment on her looks. I don't understand why you don't get it. You've participated in this. So why do you think that she doesn't have body issues? Anyone who's in the public eye is going to have those.
Well, hey, if the rumors about the butt double are true, you know, I could understand.
Again, this is what I'm talking about. Jeremy claiming that Brie Larson has a butt double because he thinks her butt's too flat. If that were true, Jeremy, would you not see how that would lead someone rather, to having body issues? If you're literally, like, in a movie and someone says to you, we need a butt double. Like, even within Jeremy's own internal life, how he thinks Brie Larson is, if he thinks this butt double thing is true, which I don't, but whatever, if it were true, Jeremy, that would point to the idea that she might have body issues because of that. What don't you get, dummy?
Why Brie might feel this way. The interviewer asked Brie Larson about her YouTube channel and asked her to give advice to young women who are having a hard time.
Curious how our YouTube channel's doing. I haven't looked in a while. Brie Larson YouTube. Let's see. She is up to 448,000 subscribers. Uh-oh, Jeremy. What are you up to now? Jeremy is up to 934. She's like halfway there already, Jeremy. You better hurry up, Jeremy, and get some more subs. Brie Larson's gonna catch ya. I think last time we looked, she was in the 300s, so she's catching up.
Keep up with the standards of beauty. Well, I mean, if you want advice...
Can you imagine Jeremy's reaction the day Brie Larson's YouTube channel gets more subscribers than him, and it's going to be during a Biden presidency? I don't know if he's going to recover from that.
On YouTube channel, just have every major corporation write endless fluff pieces for your YouTube channel long.
Yeah, major publications like, what is this? RepublicWorld.com? A website I've never heard of before.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Eowyn80 with 20 bits. Jeremy has spent many hours staring at her butt for research purposes, so I think he knows what he is thinking. So I think he knows what he's talking about, Hannah, apparently.
Lunch, and then you'll be fine. Actually, let's check in on her channel. Looks like a month ago, 100 sit-ups. Okay. 188,000 views. That's very good.
He always does this, Jeremy. For the number of subscribers she has, she's doing very well. Why do you care? I don't watch Brie Larson's channel either, just because it's not the kind of content I like. But, like, there's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing funny
Why
about
the
tools of
obsession,
capitalism.
Jeremy? The reason I covered Jeremy, for instance, is because he's a toxic individual, and I think he pushes people into the far right. He's like a
There's nothing
gateway
funny about
drug
tools
to
of
the far
capitalism.
right. He'll get people in and be like, oh, you don't like Brie Larson because she said something about straight white men, huh? Well, just follow me on Parler and find my videos on BitChute. Oh, there's also neo-Nazis on BitChute, and they might end up in the recommended videos? Oh, weird. Anyway, you know? I think he's destructive in that way. He's like an entry gateway drug into that alt-right Trumpy circle, and he's been less subtle about it recently. He at least used to pretend that wasn't the case, but at this point, I think even he knows there's no real point hiding it. New Monster, thank you for subscribing with a 6-month streak. Tucker White 94. Yeah, that's what gossip rags do, Jeremy, though some are more pro-celebrity than others. True.
Her channel has essentially stopped growing, but mine has too. So I don't know if there's something going on. Like, if it's affecting even Brie Larson, I don't know what to tell you.
Like I said, last time we checked, I think she was at 300 something, but I could be wrong.
I turned your
Nothing funny
Instagram.
about the tools of capitalism.
Subscribe to Brie Larson now? I mean, sure, I'm not gonna. Wait, did I subscribe to Brie Larson? I don't remember. Fuck it. She only puts out videos like once every 3 weeks. I'll subscribe. I don't care. I'm not gonna watch the videos, but I think it bothers Jeremy, and I find that funny.
Instagram comments into a song, very creative. Brie Larson can sing and play guitar. She has a music career. It was early on, if you didn't know. Then I said, and then she said, I did Truth or Drink with my best friend, 138,000. Let's look at that 5 days ago, down to 91,000.
Jeremy, again, I've talked about this before. When you put out fewer videos, Jeremy puts out like 5 videos a day. So most of his views come from that first day and it's one and done. But Jeremy, if your release schedule is different in that you put maybe one video out per week, then the views are not as front-loaded as the kind of content you or I put out where we're putting out 3 or 4 or 5 videos a day. We've talked about this.
It would appear that her channel is trailing off, but
He says this every time! He says this every single time, and he's always been wrong. Like, what are you talking about, Jeremy? Like, bear in mind, we've seen videos, literally, where he'll look at, he was looking at, like, videos like this when they were new, and he was like, well, they only have, like, 50,000 views. But, of course, because it's Brie Larson's channel, over the course of the months, now it's up to 418,000 to 395,000. And now, because these videos are newer, now he's looking at these ones and going, oh, there's only 100,000 views, there's only 143,000 views, there's only 146, but lo and behold, 2 weeks from now, when he does another Brie Larson video, those ones will be down here, and they'll be newer videos, and these ones will have, like, 500,000 views, and he'll not pay attention to those, but he'll look at the new ones, and he'll be like, oh, they only have 150,000 views, you know? It's like the definition of insanity. Jeremy is just doing the same thing every single video with Brie Larson, and it is driving me insane. Tucker White 94, I know it's cliche to say, but even Sigmund Freud would say Jeremy's obsession with Brie Larson stems from a desire to bump uglies with her, right? It's so weird.
I will give her credit for not bringing in her celebrity friends to try and, you know, bait her way to more views, like, you know, Jack Black does. But anyway, I digress. Here, Captain Marvel and Scott Pilgrim versus the World Star. Brie Larson has opened up about her lack of self-esteem, admitting she didn't used to be happy with her appearance. It took me a long time to be able to be totally comfortable with myself. The thing that has brought me solace is knowing that I can be whoever I want to be with myself. What breaks my heart to think is that people in the world who do not feel that they have safety within their own bodies. That to me is my ultimate goal in life, to do whatever it is I can so people have the freedom to express themselves to be exactly who it is that they want to be, whatever.
Okay, so Jeremy, do you understand what she's doing here? Jeremy, she's using her status as a celebrity to talk about the body issues and self-esteem issues faced by young women everywhere, right? Now, Brie Larson's just a person like everyone else, and I'm sure she has dealt with, you know, image issues in the past like everyone does at one time or another. And now that she has a platform, she's using that to talk. When she's doing this interview, she's not just talking. This message is primarily packaged for younger women to understand that, hey, if you ever, feel uncomfortable with the way your body is, or feel that you're measuring yourself up against this societal standard that you don't think is fair and that you're not living up to it or whatever, that's fine. That's something that other people go through, and you should understand that you can fight through that and have confidence in yourself and who you are. That's just a good general sort of generic message towards young women. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with what's being said here, Jeremy. You're really, really fishing for content at this point.
Whatever that is, knowing that can also change. Larson began a YouTube channel this year, as well as using it to connect with fans and play Animal Crossing. She used it to talk about the many film roles she played for. She explained that she lost out a role in Wominator. She revealed which Star Wars film she went for, and detailed the Marvel project she tried before landing Carol Danvers. Now, just a minute to be, to get serial for a second here. This is absolutely a realistic thing for women and men who struggle with body image.
Right. So what's the issue, Jeremy? She's using this platform to talk about these issues to younger people because it's implicit in that message that it's like, hey, younger people who feel this way, you're not alone. Everyone feels this way from time to time. You don't need to let it control your life and control your self-image. That seems implicit in the messaging. So what is your issue, Jeremy? Aracaria24 with 20 bits. I think Jeremy knows what he's doing and is just being a jackass. He can't possibly be this thick. I don't know. Is he drunk, though? I really can't tell these days. Is he drunk? Is he hungover? Is he just so full of salt that everything isn't filtering properly? I don't know. I'm concerned for Jeremy.
And I think that Hollywood and their, beauty at all sizes goes way too far. Like, there's no excuse for being as overweight as I am. I don't need some Hollywood celebrity to tell me it's okay. I know that if I don't get in shape, it's going to lead to things like heart disease. Lizzo is not healthy. Okay. Now, while most people may be into that, some people may be into a gigantic woman or gigantic man, it's still not healthy. But I know that not just women struggle with this. Men do too. Men with self-confidence issues. Look, I grew up in the Magic the Gathering community, in the board game community, which is populated with extraordinarily low self-esteem men. And it's sad. I mean, I grew up with these guys, and most of them, if they didn't find a fellow gamer, they're still single right now. And if I can say anything, it's that, yeah, there's a section of the population that is extraordinarily vain, right? These are the people that use Tinder for hookups, right? And then they get...
Did this just turn into an old man rant about Tinder? Where did this come from? Jeremy, what? You don't have to be vapid in order to like Tinder. What are you talking about?
Crabs or the herp. They're not, very few people find happiness on these hookup apps.
Maybe they're just looking to fuck, Jeremy. Have you considered that? Maybe it's not about finding happiness. Maybe it's about finding dick. Like, what are you talking about?
But if you have a good personality, if you maintain...
Jeremy's upset. He just found his wife's Tinder profile, so he had to find a way to slip it into this episode.
Yourself. And you...
Her profile's like... Take me out to pizza while my husband pees impotently in the basement. Open for pizza dates.
You do some basic hygiene. You dress. Your clothes aren't ratty and falling apart.
Dracon, thank you for gifting a sub.
You're going to do just fine out there if you let your personality shine through. I thought this was a good...
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. I don't remember how that song goes.
Wholesome topic to try and speak to the men in my audience. Like, I know women out there experience this, but men don't hear it enough. That, look, not every dude is going to have a six-pack, but...
I don't even understand. This video's... There's like a minute left in this video, and it seemed like Jeremy was going to criticize Brie Larson, but now he's just doing the same thing Brie Larson was doing in her article, except more targeted towards, like, young men, which is perfectly fine. I agree. Young men out there, you're not going to be He-Man, you're not going to be, Chris Evans, you're not going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, that's an old reference, but, like, it's completely fine as long as you're, like, a healthy weight, which is something I'm working on. I've lost 30 pounds, I'm still working on it, but, like...
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
It's completely fine, whether you're, like, a man or a woman or NB or whatever. You're fine how you look. Just, like, it's always good to work towards health, right? And that's a good message. That's a great message. But I guess I just don't understand what the point of this video is, Jeremy, because you criticized Brie Larson, and then now you're doing the thing she did. So what's the criticism? You just don't like that it's an attractive person saying this? I mean, she's a person with a platform, Jeremy. Shouldn't people with their platforms, similar to what you're doing now on YouTube, use that as a message for positive things? And hey, Jeremy, this is great. Reach out to your audience more and say these things. That's awesome. Be constructive instead of what you do normally, which is just cringe, right? Be a constructive creator, and that's awesome. But why criticize Brie Larson for doing the same thing you're doing? It's so weird. MMO addicted to 20 bits. Oh god, I'd love to go out to pizza after this all ends. I've not left my house since the quarantine began, aside maybe twice or thrice as it was absolutely necessary since my lungs are shit and it's too dangerous for me. I miss going places. Yeah, me too. Hopefully sometime in the next year we'll be able to again. Enreath with 20 bits. He makes a video on Brie for money only, so he's just rambling until he hits over 10 minutes. Oh, I know you're right. I know you're right. It's true. 11-minute, 44-second video. He needed that ad rev, you know?
If you look at our dads, most of them probably weren't six-pack ab dudes either. You know, you develop a personality, you become confident in yourself, and that is very attractive for women. You don't need to be super fit. It would help if you weren't obese. You can make small changes to head in the right direction with that. But, you know, don't listen to the Hollywood healthy at every size thing. But men out there, they struggle with this too. And know yourself, and then you'll know real confidence. And that outshines any physical attributes for any man or woman who's actually looking. And if somebody's only interested in somebody in your looks, then they're probably a garbage human anyway. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.
He just realized he was over 10 minutes. He's like, all right, gotta wrap it up. Anyway, I don't know. Jeremy isn't looking the healthiest right now. I kind of hope he's doing okay. I guess we'll have to see, though. But yeah, I don't understand. Oh, God, there's another one he posted an hour ago.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quarter.
He must have drank a couple glasses of water between that last video and this one. He's looking a lot healthier in this one.
Whether you're watching on YouTube, Parler, Odyssey, or Rumble, or BitChute, I hope that you'll use whatever platform you're on's version of subscribing. On YouTube, there's a red button right down below. Go ahead and click that. I could use your help. Now, we all know that I have a deep and long-lasting love for not just Brie Larson and all of the things she's always said, but in all things Brie Larson, including Captain Marvel, one of the most powerful, strong, beautiful superheroes ever. I mean, I, for one, am very much so looking forward to Captain Marvel leading the way in an all-female Avengers film coming up in 2024. But there was a bit of a goof, a bit of a gap.
He's so mad that Captain Marvel exists. Jeremy, you don't have to like Captain Marvel if you don't want to. That's fine. Don't care.
Over the weekend, where some Captain Marvel figures were roundly, soundly, hilariously mocked all over the internet. Before I get to that, just a quick word from, well, me. Having all of it of the channel for my community, whether it's on Discord. Hey, I hope you'll join my community, whether it's on Discord, Reddit, Parler, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you feel comfortable. There's lots of people who want to hang out with you. Now, G.I. Joe, Rise of the Cobra star Marlon Wayans draws comparison between awful Captain Marvel action figure and his appearance in White Chicks. G.I. this via boundingintocomics.com. G.I. Joe, Rise of the Cobra, scary movie star Marlon Wayans is compared to the horrendously bad appearance of an action figure based on Brie Larson's Captain Marvel to his comedic appearance as the character in White Chicks.
I don't want to be strong like man who look pretty. I want to be strong like bitch that fight bears in the forest.
By the way, white face, okay. Black face, not okay. Got it.
Yes, Jeremy. White face, okay. Black face, not okay. Jeremy, do I need to explain why blackface isn't okay to you? I think I've covered this before. Jeremy, okay. See, after the Civil War was a thing, there were these things called minstrel shows where, oh boy, white people would put, like, shoe polish on their face and make big red lips, and they would make very, very, very offensive stereotypes of black people in these shows, right? Really, really fucked up stuff. So the reason that blackface is considered a no-no, but whiteface is not, is because there was never a reverse of that. There was never, like, a widespread popular form of entertainment where black people would put on a white face and make fun of white people with some sort of offensive stereotype, right? Like, we're talking about specific historical context where a racial minority was ridiculed, mocked, and made fun of by white people adopting a facsimile of their identity. That's why blackface is not okay, but whiteface is not considered the same. I can't even believe I have to explain that shit to a grown adult. Jeremy, you're almost 40 years old. You know why blackface isn't okay. My God.
Got it. All right. I'm not offended by either, just so we're clear.
Jeremy not offended by blackface. That's not shocking to me, but at the same time it should be.
And forced into the forefront of importance within the comic and cinematic universes by
Devious Children with 50 bits. To be fair, even if there was a history of, say, minorities doing that to white people were the mass majority of power back then, so it still wouldn't be as bad. Yeah, I agree.
Disney and Marvel, one would expect merchandise related to Captain Marvel to be handled with the utmost care and importance, particularly in its depiction of Carol Danvers, Marvel Cinematic Universe actress Brie Larson. However, for some reason, collectible manufacturers have been unable to properly capture Larson's appearance. As a result, nearly every Captain Marvel figure looks slightly off, as seen with her 6-inch Marvel figure. Well, they all look like...
I guess I don't look at action figures very often. I think it looks fine, but again, I'm not really an action figure. I'm a prop person. Like, I have the Marvel, like, Thor's hammer and Captain America shield and stuff, but I don't do figures, so I don't know. For what did they say? This is a 6-inch figure? I don't know. To me, it looks fine. For like a $20 action figure. I don't know. Tucker White 94 with 20 bits. Jeremy, why does any of this matter? Towing 24 with 20 bits. What is in his brain that he's so desperate to make her look bad? It just can't be a grift, right? No, he is compulsive at this point. It is.
There's nothing funny about the tools.
Brie Larson in his head, I think, is his like arch enemy and is representative of like feminism, like 21st century feminism, and I don't know, it's like his white whale. Like, because she is feminism to him, he must take her down, because if he can somehow successfully take down Brie Larson, then he has taken down feminism. It is so weird.
And they all look like she's got some sort of, I don't know, like, they look just awful. Her face, I mean, it kind...
Let me look at the Marvel Legends. Marvel... I honestly don't know what the different Marvel Legends figures look like. Hold on. Hasbro. Sure. A lot of these are comic book, though. Oh, are they doing a War Machine helmet?
There's nothing funny
God,
about the tools of
I need to
capitalism.
not buy that. If I saw it, I'd want to buy it, but it's literally just their Iron Man helmet painted gray. I'm such trash. Antipodian Squid with 50 bits. Action figures always look terrible, but for the price and intended demographic, who cares? They're meant to be played with by kids, not collected like the expensive statuettes that you expect to look perfect. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the kids, get ready for the funnest playset in the history of playsets. Angry Old Man Logan and Wheelchair Patrick Stewart. I know. it's for collectors, but hey kids, get ready for action-packed fun. Dementia-ridden Professor X is gonna kill all the mutants accidentally. Logan's a good movie. Okay, like here, this is supposed to be, for instance, does Chris Evans plays Captain America, that's his name, right? Like, this is supposed to be Chris Evans. It's not great, okay? They're $20 action figures meant for kids to take home and play with. Do you guys not remember being a kid and playing with, like, action figures? They don't need to look exactly like the actors and actresses. It's just, you know, they're doing their best with these, like, 6-inch sculpts. It's fine. It's fine for its intended purpose, which is so... Oh my god, the Tony Stark one is so bad.
Right, capitalistic propaganda.
Look at that! Thank you, Alexandra Mystique. That's horrifying. I think that one's supposed to look like the one from the Avengers game, though, that recently came out. Not Robert Downey Jr., but still, I don't like it. This is supposed to be Wolverine. That's not that great. Oh, Stan Lee. That's a cool one. That's actually really neat. It's got a Stan Lee. That's sweet. I kind of like that. Anyway, you get it. Action figures, especially cheapo ones made for kids, like these. These are the $20 ones. Like, they don't look perfect. It's fine. In fact, I think this Brie Larson one looks closer than the Chris Evans ones we saw, but, you know. Whatever.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
MO Addicted says, I'll have you know I played with dolls as a little boy. Most progressive shit my family's done. Yeah, I didn't have any dolls, unfortunately. Decker White 94, Jeremy's head in a jar, Futurama style, 100 years from now. Now look at how insert company represents the likeness of sex advocates. It's a disgrace to Hannah and Corn Pope Jake.
Kinda looks like Brie, but like Brie's sister who was locked in the basement while she grew up. Same this one here. Maybe they just can't do female characters? I don't know. The bomber jacket variant.
Is he gonna even look at any of the male figures as like a control to see if there's anything, you know, because we just looked at them and they're also inaccurate. They're toys. It's fine. They don't have to be 100%. Toy sculpts are always gonna be off, but instead he's gonna look at just these figures and be like, they're gross. Let's not look at any of the other ones. Very unbiased. Good job, Jeremy.
Of Marvel figure, which looks more like Amy Poehler than Larson. That does look like Amy Poehler. Diamond's Marvel Select Captain Marvel. What is going on with their
That one's pretty bad.
face? It looks like it's melting.
Diamond Select ones are always not as great, though.
Even the Captain Marvel produced by Hot Toys, whose high-quality figures are some of the most detailed and accurate available on the market, fails to perfectly capture Larson's visage, leading to somewhat an uncanny appearance to an otherwise beautiful collectible.
Tiger White 94 with 20 bits. This is even more vapid than Candace Owens bitching about Harry Styles wearing a dress. Why does any of this matter? I agree.
I don't think this looks bad.
No, I think that looks fine. I think that's pretty good. That looks mostly like Brie Larson. It's a little off, but it's mostly there.
I mean, her face still isn't right, but it looks pretty good. The short hair version,
that looks pretty darn spot on.
Maybe looks even better. Credit is due, as Hot Toys actually came closest to fit capturing Larson's face in their Avengers Endgame Captain Marvel figure. Yeah, I would say that one looks okay. And then you have this.
This action figure doesn't look like Mark Hamill at all.
There's nothing funny about it.
Good job, toy makers. Kids, how are kids gonna enjoy the toys if they don't look like the actors? Jeremy, I know chasing the Brie Larson click-through rate is something that you're real big on, but at least think about the videos before you put them out so you don't look as stupid. Claire the Egg with 25 bits. I wonder if the inaccuracy of the sculpts have more to do with Marvel not licensing the actors' likenesses for the toys and less to do with tech available. No, I'm pretty sure they license. I'd imagine that's part of their contracts as toy rights, but who knows. EON80 with 20 bits. How does it feel to be the expert witness in the court when the quartering eventually goes crazy and starts stalking Brie Larson? I am not an expert witness. I'm sure there's someone else who covers Jeremy with more frequency than myself. I don't know who, but I'm sure they exist.
Oh my god, look at it. Look at it. Look at it. One of the worst offenders is Captain Marvel's official Avengers Endgame tie-in figure, which even the most hardcore Larson critics and opponents can agree is an insult, not only to the actress, but action figure production in general. Look, I don't know who collects action figures anymore. I'm guessing it's...
Did Jeremy legitimately forget for this video that children buy toys to play with them? Is he so far gone from, like, normal people's lives that he thinks all action figure sales go to 40-year-old men and didn't remember that, like, kids play with action figures? Jeremy, this Brie Larson figure is not something you put up on a shelf. It's not like a Sideshow Collectibles piece. By the way, have you guys seen Sideshow Collectibles? They're amazing. Sideshow Collectibles are rad, and if I were rich, I would spend an inordinate amount of money on the Sideshow Collectible stuff. Sideshow Collectibles do, like, you know, really, really detailed figures if you're, like, an adult collector of nerdy shit, right? Really, really detailed sculpts, quite accurate, you know, big figures, easily posable for, like, cool scenes if you want to set that stuff up. They're very cool. But that's not what this is, Jeremy. This is a little $20 piece of plastic that a 6-year-old to a 9-year-old takes home and plays with. Adult children are not the primary audience for toys.
It's mostly adults. Because every kid I ever see has their face buried in an iPad. They're not looking at, they're not playing with action.
Can we move on to another Chud? Once this video's over, we'll move on.
Figures. Maybe. But yeah, this is awful. It's this particular figure that caught the attention of Wayans, who found himself baffled by the horrible lack of effort put into capturing Larson's face, asking his Facebook followers, quote, "Why do they make this beautiful woman's Captain Marvel doll look like me in White Chicks as a superhero?" I don't know. To further drive his point home, Wayans also presented a side-by-side comparison of the figure with a photoshopped image that replaced Larson's Captain Marvel head with his in-disguise White Chicks character, Marcus Copeland. It looks just like him.
And yeah, that's funny. That's funny. It's funny to point out that this children's toy is not the most accurate thing in the world, to say the least. It is funny. What I don't understand is why Jeremy felt the need to turn this thing that's funny in tweet form into a 9 minute 48 seconds. If he'd just gone for 12 more seconds, he could have got a mid-roll ad in there. But he didn't. What an integrity move, Jeremy. Seriously, though. Like, does this matter? It doesn't. Why make a whole video? This is exactly funny in one tweet. It's not funny in a 10-minute long video.
It looks just like him.
Oh, mid-roll ads are now 8 minutes? Well, there you go. He did do it. We did it, Jeremy. Hooray.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. It looks exactly like him. Some of the replies, "Just make White Chicks 2 already. Dang, dude, keep teasing us with this crap. Remember exactly where and when I watched the first one. Whenever I'm feeling super down, it's my favorite movie ever." I don't think I've actually ever even seen it.
Honestly, I would kind of like to see White Chicks too. But, like, this time, because obviously they're both older, you know, they're not. Even then, they were supposed to be playing, you know, like a Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie type duo. Maybe this time they gotta be white chicks, but they gotta be, like, white suburban mom type women. wine moms, and they got to fit in with that group. That'd be kind of funny. I don't know who was clamoring for a White Chick sequel, though. Tucker White, Karens. Yeah, basically Karens. Have them pretend to be Karens. I think that'd be funny. Tucker White 94, can we at least turn up the speed on the video?
Brie Larson's
There's only 3 minutes left.
emotional acting range makes me wish they cast Plank as Captain Marvel. Expectation versus reality. I want Plank in the MCU.
Avengers action figures. Oh, look at this highly accurate Thor figure. Look at this Captain America. Like, guys, do you not understand? Do you not understand that toys are for children and that the sculpts aren't always great? They just need to fulfill a purpose, and that purpose is to, like, for the kid to use their imagination. Like, the Scarlet Witch one ain't great either. What? Ooh, Megazord. I don't. Jeremy breaks me more and more every time with this shit.
I mean, found this doll at the door. This doll at the Family Dollar in Tucson. What is going on with that? It looks like Obama. What's going on?
Xena B with 20 bits. I wish that you could turn the speed up in a way that the pitch was increased.
There. Oh, Barbie Obama. Yes, yeah. Okay, I was like, I don't know. You are 100 times prettier than she is and a better actor. I mean, overall, all throughout this, it just
I already have that Megazord. I don't need to buy it.
it doesn't look good. I mean, I don't know why people are so rough on Brie Larson. I mean, I think
Tucker White 94 with 20 bits. If multiverse theory is correct, then Jeremy in a different timeline is using McDonald's toys for his argument. Hold on. I'll be back in a sec. See, I already have this Megazord. This is actually... Someone sent this to me. I don't know. This is an expensive one. This one has, like, metal parts. It's, like, metal. This might be the most expensive thing anyone ever sent us in a mailbag episode. It's pretty sweet.
There's nothing funny about
the action figure. I wonder if I can even find
Is it
one of these.
Is it a
action
Megazord
figures
or a
for sale.
Mogazord?
It doesn't look
Jesus.
like it. You know, but here's at least some good news, at least according to We Got This Covered, which means it's 50-50. You know, sometimes they take a rumor and present it as fact, but Brie Larson's reportedly made a deal with Netflix for several new movies. See, Netflix and Amazon, HBO Max, these are where new films are going to start appearing. Like many untested and unproven aspiring actresses, Brie Larson suffered her fair share of rejection in the early days of her career. Of course, now Larson is one of the most sought-after young talents in the business. I don't know about that.
What do you mean you don't know about Jeremy? She's in the biggest franchise in the world as one of the lead characters. She absolutely is. Jeremy, your dislike of Brie Larson doesn't mean that she's not a popular actress. He's in such a ridiculous bubble, it's crazy. I may be surprised by my Christmas present then. What's my Christmas present gonna be?
Having headlined a superhero blockbuster that earned over $1 billion at the box office, and boasting a trophy cabinet that includes an Academy Award, a Golden Globe, and an Emmy, which isn't a bad haul for someone who only turned 31 last month. The Kong Skull Island star even moved into directing recently, helming 2017's warmly received comic drama Unicorn Store.
I didn't like Unicorn Store. I saw it. It's on Netflix. She was the director of it. I didn't like Unicorn Store very much. So for anyone who says I'm like a Brie Larson simp for doing this, not even really. I like her as Captain Marvel, but I didn't like her directorial thing. She was good in Room, though, so...
Now insider Daniel Rickman is claiming that Larson has reportedly signed a deal with the streaming service for several new movies, although the projects in question aren't clear. Here's what the tipster had to share. Brie made a deal with Netflix and will star and direct films for them. That's not a very good tip. But this is via his internal Patreon, so who knows? Captain Marvel 2 is the only
Unicorn Store. Brie Larson made a movie called Unicorn Store on Netflix.
upcoming flick on Brie Larson's schedule. The MCU sequel is expected to start filming early next year. But after director Nia DaCosta calls it a wraps on the cosmic superhero effort, she'd be free to dive headfirst in the world of streaming to enjoy a sort of unbridled creative freedom that's seen Netflix lock down some of the biggest name in the business for the last several years. And frankly, we can't wait to see. Well, I can't wait to see either. I'm obviously, if you didn't know, a gigantic Brie Larson fan. And the action figure is just a travesty. It should be recalled and removed from all the shelves, and a swift apology must be issued. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Honestly, it's pretty fucking sad that Jeremy continually tries to come up with excuses to cover Brie Larson. And I gotta keep covering it. Like, come on, Jeremy. Come on. What's the point? You know? Why do this? Brie Larson didn't do anything to you. You're just salty she said your opinion didn't matter 100% of the time. Which, hey, guess what? If you're a human, your opinion doesn't matter all the time. Welcome. We all have different time. Our opinions have different weights. It's fine. You gotta get over it. You just gotta. How do I... Okay. Oh, God. Okay, there's the T-Rex part. Mastodon. I'm gonna have to do this off camera. That's the end of Jeremy for today.